How's it going, folks? Something I wanted to share with you. There's a couple reasons why you never put your tires on with impact wrenches and just ratchet the heck out of them. This is a brand new, actually it's only been used a couple of times, breaker bar. It broke, and it's a pretty decent one. I've had ones like it for a few years. This one I haven't had very long at all. And same thing with this, a 1/2 inch to 3/8 adapter. Just twisted it right off. Now, Michael will tell you that that's just me being what he calls ham-fisted. He ain't listening, so I'm getting away with it. But that was me just trying to break the lug nuts loose to get the tire off this stupid thing. Got y'all on a fancy tripod today. Okay. Now, I did the other side already, and I wasn't going to show y'all this, but I'll show you now. There's something about this one that you need to see. In order to get these off, usually you have to put a pry bar in between these two things and just kind of wiggle a little here and there until you get it to wiggle off. This is not tensioning up properly, so these brakes haven't even been used hardly. And I want to show you a little something. I saw this before when I looked at them, and it should come right off. Well, shoot, it did before. Sometimes you can put a little bead of like WD-40 or something like that around this inner race here, and that'll help it slide out a little easier. There we go. I shouldn't have been able to take that off that easy. Now, you can see it's a little scored, not bad. I mean, just, they could probably use turning, but I'm not doing that. I'm going to replace them. Not tonight, but I am going to replace them. See that crack? See that missing pad? That's what happens when your tensioner, which is this little jewel right here, this little arm, what it's supposed to do, that little toothed wheel right there, right up under the wheel cylinder, right back there. This LED light's not a, there we go. That little tooth wheel right in the middle of that bar is actually supposed to be turned by this tensioning arm. Basically, when you flex your brakes, you hit your brakes and it pushes the fluid into this wheel cylinder, and it pushes the cylinders out. There's a head on each side of this. It pushes them out, and that's supposed to make this flex downward if it's in here properly, which it's not. And it's supposed to turn that tensioner and make the brakes tighter against the inside of the drum itself, right in here. Basically, it pushes out to stop. Not very efficient, not very effective. I wish I could afford to swap it out and just do a front and rear disc brake, but it's just not in the cards right now. All right. I still brought all my tools up. All right. For this, you're gonna need a little spring removal tool, like so, or like so, because that spring right there that goes across both sides, oh, you can't see it. Okay. That spring right there that goes across both sides is a high tension spring. That's what holds everything together. We've also got one down here that holds things together on the bottom side. These hold the shoes against the back wall of the drum. And that's pretty much all there is to disc brakes. There is, or to drum brakes rather, there is a cable that comes in here and connects right here. This is actually your emergency brake hookup. This will flex the brakes even when the truck's parked. It pushes it'll rock this arm right here. It'll rock that forward and push this out to hold the truck steady. Twist the little brakes off like so, or little springs rather. There's a pin and a spring. That pin's got a little kind of arrowhead top on it. That's why you have to use one of these tools, because you'll have a fun time getting it off and on without that. I've done it. Matter of fact, I took the ones off the other side without it, just by holding the pin on the back side of the drum and twisting the spring and pushing in at the same time, but kind of hard on the hands. All right. Now somewhere something's got to give tension. I just took the tension off the bottom. Put that in your kit there. Now, because it's not functioning well, and it helped on the other side, I'm going to go clean this up. This is the wheel that I was telling you about that's supposed to spin around and tension it. It's not spinning by itself very easily. So I'm going to go give it a good clean up. It helped on the other side, maybe it will on this side. And then this has a little keeper spring. This is the emergency brake plate that I was telling you about, that the emergency brake cable is attached to. You gotta pop that pin off of there, which isn't very easy to do either, and then just put everything back on in reverse. Not real hard. What I'm gonna do though is take this arm and this over and wash them both up so that I know they'll both turn like they're supposed to. Before I do all that, this is an old piece of technology that's not really used much anymore, evidently, because this truck does not have a place for you to put the spoon tool on it to tighten up the brakes manually, which is kind of both sad and weird, because that means now the shade tree. Oh, that's nice.
Down the road.
Yeah, it's sauce tube.
Honey, you're not hungry at all.
Not really. Well, I will be when I come in, but
How'd you eat one meal today? It's all you've had.
keep a plate for me.
What?
Keep a plate.
Well, it's in the fridge. I'll make it when you come in.
Okay. After a solvent bath and a little trip to a wire brush station to get the rust knocked off this thing, figured maybe that'd help it move a little easier. The thread's cleaned up just fine with the solvent, so that's not a big deal. These are right-handed threads, so it doesn't turn the way you think it should. Get that out of the way right off. And that's the way it goes back in there. Now, got to put on Cinderella's new slippers. Guess they go on this way.
Video?
Yep, go ahead though. See what you gotta do.
Oh, no, I was gonna say when you get a second, point the camera back there.
Anyway, yeah, whatever. But see, mine's general maintenance stuff. I don't have.
I can't touch nothing that I ain't gotta go asshole deep into.
I know.
Hey, but look, I look at it like this. That's what bought our family.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it should.
Now for the light.
Yeah, I'm pretty much wrapping it up as far as I can get. I gotta order that EGR too.
Sounds painful.
I gotta step aside for a minute. I'll be right back.
Thanks for the warning.
So let's put them on like that, then you should pull it over the wheel. So. 'Cause I got to order that EGR too. I'll be right back, Jim. Thanks for the warning. Yep, go ahead, though.
Thanks for the warning.
Yeah, I'm coming right to wrap it up.
spring in. Hold it in place while I put all the other gunk on. Yeah, I'm finding if you put that little flat deal horizontal, a whole lot easier to hit it. Dang it. Viola. There's that one on the bottom. My little tensioner jobby do back in there. Voila! I always want to, first off, make sure you don't have any extra parts. Then to make sure this is tensioned properly, which it's actually overextended because I can't even get the drum back on the brake shoes. So what you do in that case, roll it back the other way. Alright, there you have it. It rolls, and you see the other tire